Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Apocablog, day 1436 of thinking that, that these people are really good at telegraphing their plays. So, as we're having a Thanksgiving like no other, where food bag distribution event held in North Texas, in Dallas on Saturday, saw 600,000 pounds of food given away, including 7,000 turkeys. Families also handed 20 pounds of non-perishables, 15 pounds of fresh produce, and bags of wheat during Thanksgiving-themed distribution. Photos taken show thousands of cars backed up in four lines outside the Fair Park on Saturday. The line appeared to span several miles. Nearly 3.8 million people have filed for unemployment since the beginning of the pandemic. So we created food lines, so the communists have to be feeling pretty good about that. And all of this is happening while we're being told not to actually have Thanksgiving or have a maximum of 10 people because, the virus counts. And miraculously, as they're trying to keep us from having large numbers of guests, it appears that you can't find large turkeys right now. And grocery stores are putting purchase limits back on all sorts of products because, it's, they don't want you having large groups of people in your house is the answer. Now, that's disturbing for a couple of reasons. The lack of large turkeys. Our best case scenario there is that the government has cut off that supply line. The worst case scenario is that they told the turkey growers not to grow them or to kill them early, which means that's a stunning amount of coordination. I'm tending towards the first because our government just doesn't seem to be good enough, able to pull shit off like that, but whatever. And by the way, they've already written off Christmas. Christmas is not going to be possible, CNN host Jake Tapper writes off the holiday season as Fauci tells him that new COVID restrictions will last well into next year. So we have that going for us, which is nice. Now, the terrifying part about this is that 38% of Americans are planning a big Thanksgiving despite COVID. Only 38%. So that's not good. That's 2/3 of the country are bowing to this shit. And there's and by the way, if they get the potted plant in, Fauci is going to be running this shit. And remember this. Now, this is do what you're told despite your independent spirit, remember? And the other available option was Dr. Scott Atlas, who got up and said the only way this stops is if people rise up. So bow in submission, rise up and accept and demand your freedom. Those are the options on the table. And I'm going to tell you why, if the potted plant wins, it's not good. So it's hard to believe America's top infectious doctor has been wrong on the coronavirus pandemic every step of the way. Fauci said he warned Trump in January that the U.S. was in real trouble, but publicly he said that the United States did not have to worry about the coronavirus. It was just not a major threat. Not a major threat. Those are his words, not mine. Fauci warned of an apocalyptic coronavirus pandemic. Then, just weeks later, compared the bat flu to the bat virus to a bad flu, based on all of his predictions of the garbage IHME models that were off by millions. He basically covered his own ass by saying, "Oh, you can't really rely on the models." Well, you shut down the fucking world because of them. On March 20th, Fauci jumped and corrected the president during a briefing on hydroxychloroquine, saying that You've got to be careful when you say fairly effective, never done in clinical trial, given to individuals and felt that it might have worked. And exactly 2 weeks later, hydroxychloroquine was deemed the most highly rated treatment for the novel coronavirus in an international poll of more than 6,000 doctors. Fauci pushed for these garbage models every step of the way. A month ago, he claimed, early on, he claimed 1 to 2 million Americans dead. Then he went down to 100 to 200,000. Then he went down to 81. Then he went down to 60. On Easter, he suggested President Trump should have shut down the economy in February, when the number of known cases in the U.S. was around 100. Fauci later walked back that attack. On March 9th, he said cruises were okay. He also said that malls, movies, and gyms were okay on February 29th. He was wrong about the first coronavirus deaths in the country. They were, according to this, February 6th, not the 29th. Fauci and the CDC missed millions and millions of citizens who'd already contracted the coronavirus before draconian lockdowns took place. April 15th, Fauci endorsed Tinder hookups. Fauci relied on World Health to lock down the United States and destroy the economy. While this delays herd immunity that is needed to prevent future outbreak of virus. Fauci and Birx used the Imperial College model to persuade Trump to lock down the entire U.S. economy. The Imperial model has since been confirmed as a complete fraud. Fauci warned that Georgia would see He warned that Georgia would see a surge in cases and deaths by opening their economy too early. He was wrong. He told Rand Paul that opening the schools was not a good idea, and the schools are fine. They're not an issue. So if we get the potted plant, this is who's in charge of your life. This is who makes every decision. Right now, think about it. The government is telling you is telling you where you can go, when you can work, what you can eat by limiting the food supply. And now they're telling you how many people you can have in your house. That submit or rise up. Those are the choices, kids.